we won the NFC Championship. You know me, I'm all happy. My first threat, I'm geeked up. And then, like, I guess somebody was crying, and I guess, like, I heard him. It's like, what the you crying for? We not done yet.
I mean, Tom, like, this is your 10th. Have a little grace. This is a lot of guys' first time going to the big game. They can be excited about it.
Oh, it's great.
It's funny. It's a funny story because you can literally visualize him doing this. And because he's been to 10, he knows, like,
don't get too high
caught up on this. But you gotta, what did you say earlier? You gotta live in the moment, you gotta appreciate everything as it's happening.
Joy, I can't believe they won at Lambeau.
I know. I'm still, it's still kind of washing over me that they're here. Didn't you pick them for the Super Bowl at some point this year? I think you did.
Well, I said wild card team, they're going to get really good at the end of the year. I said defense will lead them early, offense will take over late. And
I thought they were going to be a wild card team, maybe win one playoff game, but I did not think they were going to get to the Super Bowl.
I thought Seattle, I said this about week 12. I said, Seattle's healthy. Watch out.
Right.
And they got worse. So, I mean, like, the two things in the NFC, I thought Green Bay was going to beat Tampa. I bet some money on that. I lost money on that. It's my biggest loss of the year as a game. Wasn't a fortune, but I loved Green Bay. And my second thing is I thought Seattle, once the running backs got healthy, I was like, is over. They're going to roll. And they got worse. They got very predictable and very static and very boring off. Pete went too much into the run. And so the AFC, not a lot of surprises. The NFC has just been unwrapping a different present every weekend.
Well, I just thought they would need another year.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Right.
The way it works.
Normally, unless it's Tom Brady. So the Chiefs hit a home run with their selection of Patrick Mahomes in 2017, and Sean Payton said the Saints were also very interested in getting him after their pre-draft visit to Texas Tech.
Like, just blown away, impressed. I know I had made the comment that that's the best quarterback. That's the best college quarterback I've ever evaluated. We were picking 11. Andy went to 10. And as soon as that trade took place, we knew that was for Mahomes. And we were staring at Lattimore and Mahomes. So those were two good scenarios. But he's fun to watch and certainly tough to defend.
God.
I love those stories because it's always wild to imagine if the Chiefs hadn't done that. And now Patrick Mahomes is with the Saints. He sits a year, right, behind Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. But, like, that was a couple years ago. Drew Brees keeps playing. Like, what happens with Drew Brees? Do we ever even see Patrick Mahomes?
Think of this. Think about how legacy's changed. What if Andy Reid doesn't move up? Sean Payton gets him, and Sean reels off 4 Super Bowls with the one he has. Then we're talking about Sean Payton, maybe, the best coach ever. Like, I mean, seriously, legacies, it's all in. When it comes to coaches, maybe not players, but when it comes to coaches, boy,
it really comes down to these moments.
You need the right general manager. Andy Reid told us the story. Brett Veach came to him a year earlier and said, "You're not going to believe this kid down in Lubbock, Texas." And Andy looked at him and went, "Holy moly!" And then he'd come to him every 6 weeks. I got more tape on this kid. You've got to see. And Andy's like, "Bruce, you're obsessing. Brett, you're obsessing." It's going to change Andy Reid's legacy. He's going to get 4 or 5 more Super Bowls, and there are going to be a lot of people that say Andy Reid is Bill Walsh, is Belichick.
It's massive, but it's also, in Patrick Mahomes, to his credit, when we talk about this a lot, he wasn't necessarily a winning quarterback.
He had a losing record his last 2 years.
Started 32 games. It was 13-19 in his 3 seasons at Texas Tech. So, if you're a young guy, signing day yesterday, my nephew signed with Arizona, by the way.
That's right. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Isaiah. But, these kids are going all over the country, and they're starting their careers.
Listen, everybody develops late, too. Think about this. Stephon Diggs.
Look at Aaron Jones.
Stephon Diggs, 5th round.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, 5th round. Like, I hate the word normal. I used to use it all the time. I never use the word normal anymore because every time an adult uses the word normal, there's a child, a little girl, or a little boy who thinks, "Oh, I don't fit."
Yeah.
It's like, don't listen to anybody. The paths are all the best receiver in the NFL, Stephon Diggs, 5th rounder. Devontae Adams went to Fresno State. I mean, it's the reality is everybody's got a different path, and Andy Reid grinds for 40 years, and then thanks to a GM gets Patrick Mahomes and the best 7 to 10 years of his life will be the last decade of his life.
Well, it's just what Russell said. Like, pressure is a privilege. You earn the right to be in those big moments and make those big decisions. And Andy Reid and Chiefs made the right one.
I love that quote. God, that's a great quote.
That's a good shirt. Pressure's a privilege.
I'm going to get that shirt. The other shirt I have is Nobody Cares, Work Harder.
Yes, you love that.
I love that. Who said that?
I have it too. Oh, he sent us shirts too. I can't remember his name. We'll give him a shout.
Work Harder, Nobody Cares.
Lamar Jackson was wearing it, which is why we.
That's my favorite. My new one is Pressure is a Privilege. I'm just going to wear T-shirts with slogans from this point forward, my whole career. Enjoy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line
Hey, Ryan
News.
Fitzpatrick of the Dolphins. We're going to try to squeeze him in next. He'll be coming up. Any credit card can offer you some cash back. Nobody does it quite like the Discover card. It's Discover Cash Back Match. All the matches. Discover matches all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. It matches all of it. Okay, Discover's a card. It is accepted in 99% of the places in America that accept credit cards. Cash back match. Only by Discover card. Learn more. Check it out. Go to discover.com/match. Discover. Something brighter.
This is the Herd Line News.
Brett Favre was very critical of Deshaun Watson wanting out of Houston, saying he should just do his job because he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, that was a bad quote.
Yeah. Deshaun's agent slammed Favre for his opinion, tweeting, Brett should probably stop throwing stones from that glass house he's sitting in.
Thank you.
He is, Brett Favre, estimated to be worth around $100 million.
Yeah.
Yet is giving his opinion. It's kind of ironic. But we talked a little bit about this yesterday, and you talked about it at the beginning of the show. I'm very old school myself. Like, I think I'm an old school person.
Yeah.
But Brett Favre did his own version of this. Like, he didn't force his way out of anything or ask for a trade, but everybody asserts their power and leverage whenever they have the opportunity to. That's part of being great at something. You then get into a position to make decisions for your career. Now, obviously, he signed a contract, but it's overwhelming support for Deshaun Watson. What do you expect him to do? This is a situation that is dysfunctional. You have a pastor running the organization.
You know what it is? A lot of this is, let's be totally honest about this. Most people don't have options in life or leverage, and they resent people who use theirs.
Yes.
That's what this is down to. This is people. Most people don't have options in life. They're clinging on to the job they have. So when you have somebody that's really, really talented, there's a little bit, I see it among men all the time. I won't speak for women, but there's this resentment. If you had options, you know, what's the old saying Chris Rock used to say, the comedian?
You're only as loyal as your options.
You're only as loyal as your options. And most people don't have any. So, I would be loyal. Oh, God, give me...
Loyal to what? What is even the concept of loyalty in the professional space? There's too much of a blurred line when it comes to that word. Don't just toss that word out. Loyalty in a relationship, great. Loyalty to family, great. Loyalty to friends, great. Loyalty to hard work, great. Loyalty to a corporation that can cut you or trade you or maneuver their way out of a contract anytime they want to? What are you talking about? Loyalty as a fan is great. This is Deshaun Watson's job. And on top of it being his job, it is his career. And on top of that, he has a legacy to be concerned about, because you and I and all of you fans are going to talk about what he did with his career at the end of it.
Yeah.
He has every right to get out of this dysfunctional situation. He is great. Also, don't you want to see him thrive?
Years ago, this was about, let's see, this was about 20 years ago. Almost actually 20 years ago, 18, 19 years ago. I sat down with a radio executive. This is a true story. Opposed to my ones I make up. True story. Sat down, name was Tom Baker. Nice guy. And he's saying, I got an offer to leave to a radio station. Colin, loyalty is key with me. Loyalty is everything. Loyalty. 2 days later, he took a job with Entercom in Boston.
Oh.
You know what he also said one time? Want to hear a funny story? Only lasts a minute. I went for a raise one time. Tom was a funny guy. Very funny guy. He goes, Colin, you make too much. Can't afford